The protrusion of his chest would slowly rise and fall with a defective consistency. I listened to him breathe for a while, the nearly silent inhale of air that was riddled with ailment, and an exhale that with it laid an underlining of scratchy wheezing. My eyes transferred to his face, which was taken with age. His wrinkles swirled around his face in trails like that from shooting stars, and his current physical condition left his normal milky brown complexion with an undertone of gray. His eyes were closed lightly, and his coarse gray hair was matted from weeks of lying in the same position. He has always been a fighter throughout his life, and even here, facing the end of it, he would not give up until he knew it was time. I moved my chair closer to his bed and reached for his hand that was closest to me. I picked it up in mine and rubbed my thumb across the palm, the smoothness interrupted by wrinkles that formed pockets in the hands. I marveled at how fragile his hand had become since the last time I saw it, his bones feeling ready to snap with the slightest bit of pressure. I raised his hand to my face and pressed my lips against his fingers. "Dad," I said, still holding his hand to my lips. "Dad, it's me, Jason." He opened his eyes and peered them right into mine. His eyes were the color of fresh mud bricks and contained the sadness that every old man facing death had. The curves of his mouth outstretched, revealing a small smile. "Jay," he said, letting out a little wheeze. "It's been so long. Why haven't you come to visit?" I cleared my throat nervously. "I've been busy, Dad. I wanted to, but work, the kids, and I just didn't have the time." I felt terrible for lying to him under these circumstances, but the truth is we were never close, and after my mom died, every connection we had was basically severed. "I see," he said. "Well, I'm glad that you were here with me anyway." We sat in silence for a while, during which I eyed him up and down. He was lying in the hospital bed that was propped up, allowing him to sit up. There were monitors and devices on both sides of his bed that I had no clue what their purpose was. There were plastic tubes that ran the length of his body and then into his nose, providing him with an increased oxygen flow. "I've been thinking a lot lately, Jay, about our relationship and our past and your mother," he said. My body tensed up. Talking about my mom was always a struggle for me. "I really owe you an apology." "Dad, stop. You don't owe me anything." With that, he grabbed my hand and squeezed it tight in his. He stared into my eyes with a terrified look. "Listen to me, Jason. Just please listen. I don't have a lot of time left here with you. I constantly feel myself slipping away. Every time I close my eyes, I feel myself being separated from this body, but I keep holding on. I keep fighting for you, because I can't go on until I amend things between us. So please, just listen." He released his grip and placed his hand back at his side. I straightened up and focused my eyes on his. They were fixed on one spot in the corner of the room, as if he were staring at some type of entity. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, but the biggest one was not being a good father to you, and because of that, we've lost a lot of time that we will never be able to get back. He started coughing harshly. "You have to know that despite what we've gone through, you are and always will be my son, and I love you, Jay." "I love you too, Dad, and I forgive you. It was my fault just as much as it was yours." He smiled and then laid back and shut his eyes. Then everything was silent. My thoughts stopped. The clock stopped ticking. The beeping of the heart monitor was quiet. The sound of the doctors pacing the hallways ceased. The birds outside the window stopped singing. Everyone around the world froze in their actions. The earth stopped spinning, and everything in and out of reality slowed down to a complete halt. And for one moment, for the first time in so long, I imagined life before my mom died, and I didn't feel pain. I felt safe. And when everything in the universe started back up again, there was a beep that never ended, and a straight line on the monitor.